how to find bigger customers. Now, do you need more, better, higher paying customers to hit your sales target? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you the 4 types of customers and the only one of them that you should be aiming to close with every bit of outreach that you do. Hi, I'm Will Barron, founder of salesman.org, where in just 15 minutes we'll tell you your sales flaws and then give you a personalized training plan so you can fix them. So let's get into it. Right, of course you want more customers. Well, do you? That was a bit of a weird question to start this video with, but well, I'll take 3 customers that help me smash my sales target over 400 that barely help me hit it at all. And many salespeople go for the 400 approach, right? They make the mistake of hunting for the bottom of the barrel customers, the customers that drive us crazy by asking for constant discounts and then dumping you as soon as a new competitor arrives on the scene. Well, within the next 2 minutes, you're going to understand which customers that you need to avoid, like you would avoid a sales manager at the end of a crappy quarter, and which ones that you should fight to do business with, because the payback from dealing with the right customer at the right time is targets smashed really easily. So with all that said, there's only 4 types of customers that you're going to engage with. We have, first off, we have your investment. We have your investment customers. Then we have your risk reward customers, and then we have maintenance customers. This is where you see that I cannot spell. Maintenance customers, and then we have finally the ones that we should avoid. We're going to call these the avoid these bastards customers. Now, out of these 4 types of potential customer, there's only one that you should be intensely prospecting, and they are your investment customers. So let's run through each customer type now so that you can identify them in the marketplace. So first off, we have our investment customers. Now, these are accounts that you have good relationships with and there is the potential for new business. So if I split underneath each of these, we're going to have relationships and new business. So an investment account you have great relationships within it and it has great opportunity for new business. Risk reward accounts or customers, here we're going to have low relationships, but there's the potential reward of a ton of new business. Next up, you have your maintenance accounts. Now you have great relationships, but there's very little chance of tons of target smashing new business. And finally, the ones that we should clearly avoid, avoid these bastards at all costs customers, we have no relationships and there is very little chance of doing new business with these individuals. So if I take this and turn it into a diagram, what we would have is essentially this, where in the top corner we're going to have our investment accounts because we've got good relationships with them and we've also got the potential for new revenue. Next up, we're going to have our risk reward accounts where we have very little relationships, but risk reward, but we have high potential revenue. Then on this side where we've got good relationships but not very good chances of revenue, we have our maintenance accounts. And finally, in the remaining quadrants, we have our avoid these bastards accounts. Again, these are the individuals, these are the ones we don't want to be spending any time with whatsoever. So with that said, it should be clear that the low-hanging fruit within your marketplace comes from the customers on this side of the quadrants. Improving your already great relationships with your investment customers up here will lead to the biggest opportunity for new growth. So that is what we should all be aiming for. That is what we should definitely be focused on. Now, a little bit of time spent looking after your maintenance customers here, well, that will probably lead to the quickest amount of new revenue, but often this new revenue is capped at a certain amount because again, you've got great relationships with them, but they've not got that much budget to spend. And just as a side note, if you can hit your target by focusing completely on these maintenance accounts, well done. You've hit the sales lottery, you've won the game. because your sales manager doesn't know how to set targets. So just focus, farm these accounts, hit your targets, and live happily ever after. Finally, up here we've got the risk-reward customers. And it's important to have a few of these in your mix throughout the year as well. Now, here you're likely taking over a competitor account rather than going into a brand new account to sell into it. So it's going to be tough to win the business, but it is possible. And again, of course, you've got no relationships, but there's a high potential of reward if you get the deal done. Now, of course, if you're spending any time whatsoever prospecting people in these avoid these bastards, this quadrant here where you've got no relationships and there's not a lot of chance of revenue, well, you're doing it wrong. That would be like punching a police officer in the face and then expecting them to fall in love with you. You're never going to win enough business from these accounts to get your sales targets hit. They're just going to mess you up. They're just going to waste your time. And the fact that there are 4 customer types out there and your marketplace is probably a mix of all of them is the main reason why I don't like B2B salespeople like you or I randomly blasting out spammy prospecting outreach. Now, this is because when you spam cold emails or cold calls, you're by default wasting time with these avoid these bastards accounts. They're in the mix and you don't know which ones they are. So you're constantly spamming them and you're wasting your time. You're doing zero research before you do your outreach. And so just by percentage chance, you're going to be wasting your time with these individuals. But Will, I hear you scream at the screen as you're banging, you're smashing your hand down in front of you. How am I supposed to know which account I'm prospecting before I've had a chance to do some qualifying on the phone or in an email? Well, that's a great question, and I've got some videos on trigger events and prospect outreach coming up, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on them. But because I don't want to leave you hanging in this video, here are 3 questions that you should be asking before you pick up the phone or before you take the time to cold email a prospect. And these questions are going to help you uncover whether this potential customer that you're outreaching to is likely to be an investment, a maintenance, or a risk-reward account. So let's get into it. The 3 questions are, do you know the rules that this account is making the purchases by? Do you know the game that they are playing? So just put rules. Next up, do you already frequently engage with this account? Do you already speak to them? Because obviously that splits off that quadrant into one side. So are you already engaged? Are you already engaging with these individuals? And finally, do you know for a fact that this brand, this organization, this enterprise that you're trying to sell into, do you know for a fact that they're going to be spending a lot of money on your products in the near future, or are they already spending money on similar products to yours right now? I'll just put spend. Now, if the answers to these questions are yes, then you're probably on the right track and you can answer all of these questions with just a quick Google search. You'll get most of the information from that. That's all you need to do before you do any cold outreach, and that'll get you on track. That'll make sure that you're engaging with people on this side of the quadrant. Of course, we want to be focusing on these the best that we can, because these are the real cash cows. These are the individuals, these are the brands that we're going to be smashing our sales targets through. So there we have it. Hope you enjoyed this quick video. If you did, leave a comment below on where do you spend most of your time, which quadrants are you going after? Investment customers, risk reward customers, maintenance customers, or the avoid these bastards customers. And with that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video.